Hello, and welcome to another episode of Phonetic Fridays. My name is Jess Farais, and I'm the Director of Studies at Enseñas Quito. So today, we're looking at a phenomenon of spoken English called connected speech. What's connected speech? Well, connected speech is basically when we remove, change, or add in an additional sound up to what we're saying. Now, this is something that exists in many languages, but it's a particularly important feature of spoken English. And this is because it often makes English sometimes more difficult to understand. So, let's look at this sentence. How are you? Was the first two words, how and are. Now, listen to me when I say them together. How are you? How are you? Now, notice what I'm doing. I'm putting the sound w in between how and are in order to maintain the rhythm. How are you? So, how do we know when to do this? Well, there's a rule that we can follow. So, if the word ends with the o, ow, or oo, so o and ow, remember, are diphthongs. A diphthong, two vowel sounds in the space of one vowel sound. O and oo. So O as in go, oo as in me too, and ow as in how are you? Okay. If the word ends in these sounds and the next word begins with a vowel, then we need to put this w sound in between. Another example, I'm going to go on social media and record a video. So those words, go on. So we are go and on. Go ends in the diphthong, o, and then on, the preposition on, begins with a vowel. So we pronounce it together, go on. I'm going to go on social media and talk about phonetics. All right, let's move on. The next sound, y. So, let's listen to this example. What did I do yesterday? I ate cebolla. So again, let's look at those two words. I ate. And I pronounce them together. I ate. I ate cebolla. Okay, so you can see there between I and ate, I'm inserting the sound y. So what's the rule here? Well, it's quite simple. If the word ends in the sounds I, a, oi, or e, and the next word begins with a vowel, we need to put the sound y in between them. So just those sounds again. So I as in the sky, a as in today, oi as in boy, and e as in a cup of tea. And the next word begins with a vowel. We insert the sound u. So now we're going to look at one more bonus sound, which is Okay. Now this is a bonus sound because it doesn't happen in every variety of English. It happens mostly in Australian English, some varieties of British English, a few others. It doesn't happen in North American English. So I am a speaker of Australian English. So, for example, when I say the word car, as in an automobile, I don't pronounce the sound on the end. Car. But in North America, they pronounce it as car. Now, an interesting thing happens when we have two words. Come along. If I say them together, car along. So in this case, the sound is kind of coming back. And I have to put it in there to maintain the rhythm between these two sounds. And again, this doesn't happen in North American English. So as a final thought, you might ask yourself, I don't do this when I speak English. Is that bad? Am I speaking English incorrectly? No, not really. When we think about pronunciation and what our goals are, You have to keep this in mind. Can people understand me when I speak? If the answer is yes, don't you care? So maybe when you speak English, you don't use connected speech. You say, how are you? Or I am Ecuadorian. That's fine. You might sound a little formal. You might sound like you're speaking it carefully. But that doesn't affect your ability to be intelligible. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Phonetic Fridays. I'll see you next week.